Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. So the new patch notes for patch 4.4D are out, and this is a massive patch. So many champions are like genuinely getting changed. I think there's like 5 champion reworks in here. So let's read through it and see what the hell is gonna happen. So, last patch of the year, are you ready? We got a Ziggs rework coming your way. They're saying only a Ziggs rework, but I'm telling you there are more reworks, just so you know. New skins, no one cares. New events, no one cares. Of course, your regularly scheduled balance updates. No matchmaking changes. Hey, alright, let's read through it. How's this year almost over? Where did all the time go? But have no fear, we got a banger of an update for you, just in time for the new year. You have a Ziggs update coming your way that will get your fingers tingling, along with brand new skins, an event, and of course your regular... Yeah, we read that already. Because of how big this patch is, there are a few champion updates that are coming out slightly later. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, champion updates. You could say reworks updates, you'll see. It's crazy, it's actually crazy. Welcome to patch 4.4D. I'm honestly not gonna read through the event and Earth, I don't really care. So let's get into it. The champion changes, guys. First off, we got Aatrox. Our recent buffs to Aatrox, if you guys remember, like they buffed Aatrox a lot. Like he's incredibly powerful right now. So our recent buffs to Aatrox have made him a popular pick, but he's been trampling through the jungle. This adjustment will bring back balance to nature. So the Darkened Blade. Oh, what is that? Is that his... I think that's his first ability. So his first ability is gonna do 30% less damage to jungle camps, which is actually significantly gonna reduce his jungle clear. Like, these type of changes you may not think are, you know, very significant, because you know what I mean, like it's not like they're nerfing his damage output to enemies or anything like that. They're just slowing his jungle clear. But a lot of people tend to forget how important having a fast jungle clear is. This makes or breaks a champion in jungle. You guys remember Jack's jungle, right? They didn't nerf Jax. They only made him so he doesn't stack his passive on jungle anymore. So clearing the entire jungle takes him like 20 more seconds or maybe even 25 more seconds as opposed to the old Jax, and no one plays Jax jungle anymore because it's not good anymore. This is not quite the same magnitude of a nerf to Aatrox jungle, but this is gonna bring him down from S+ tier to S tier. He's still gonna be okay and good just because of how strong of a champion he is, but he's just gonna have a pretty slow jungle clear. Now Amumu is probably gonna get buffed, so let's see. Amumu's experience in the jungle has been a bit of a sad tale. These changes will hopefully cheer him up a little. By the way guys, I am doing a skin giveaway. All you have to do to enter is put down a comment under the video. At the end of this year, I'm picking three skin winners. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. So, these changes will hopefully cheer him up a little, or at least you. Bandage Toss. This is his first ability. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. What a buff. 2-second cooldown reduction. And he has 2 charges. Oh my god. This is huge. This is huge. Wow. I cannot believe it. I actually think in high elo, Amumu is gonna be an S tier jungler, not S+ tier, S tier, which is huge for Amumu. I think in low elo he's gonna be super good like this. This is crazy. You can use his first ability much more often right now. So Tantrum, which is his third ability, I believe, is gonna get a flat buff of 20 damage. This is also great. This is basically really good for tank Amumu. Very, very nice changes. Now here comes the first rework, guys. I honestly wanna hear your thoughts on the next 2 reworks that are coming, which is gonna be the 2 champions, the Noxine and the Demacia. So let's take a look at it. First of all, I want to tell you I have mixed feelings about it. I'll tell you my feelings. Darius, do you suffer from buyer's remorse? This is QOL adjustment. What does that mean, QOL? Oh, quality of life adjustment that will make casting Darius ult feel a little less like a waste if it fizzles out early. Now see, this sentence, I love it, right? Like we have it happens a lot where you use the Darius ult and then right before you hit the enemy, they die, right? And then you completely wasted your ult. This happens, right? Like this happens. And it's frustrating. I completely agree with that. So Darius changes will be available January 4th. What are the changes? Noxian Guillotine, which is the ultimate. When casting Noxian Guillotine, Darius ult, and the target dies, moves out of range, becomes untargetable, or activates Zhonya's Hourglass or Guardian Angel, the mana cost will be refunded, and it will go on 5-second cooldown. Let me elaborate on what this means. So it says here, and the target dies, but this is phrased extremely poorly. What they mean to say is if the target, like when casting Nox, it is phrased correctly, but you may understand it wrong. While you're casting your ult, before it lands, if that enemy dies, your ult will go on a 5-second cooldown rather than the full cooldown. Okay, so like after 5 seconds you can use it again. This is good. You know what? I love this change. I love this change. This is really gonna take away frustration when you play Darius, because this happens a lot. Amazing change, right? When the enemy moves out of range, fine, becomes untargetable. See, now here is where I have a problem with it. Here is where I have a problem. So imagine you are playing Camille, okay? You are versus a Darius. Darius is about to ult you. You make the absolute amazing outplay by ulting while Darius ulted. So Darius wants to execute you. You dodge his ult by ulting yourself. Sure, it's still going to be good because you're going to put his ult on a 5-second cooldown. But you're not really getting rewarded for it. Because let's say, you know, sure, you did that, but then he survives. After 5 seconds, he's going to have his ult again. He can use it again. So you've pretty much wasted your ultimate dodging his ultimate because he can use it again. It's not 100% wasted, I know, but you get my point. You play Darius against a Fizz. Fizz outplays you by dodging your ult. He's going to get it back. But it gets even worse, guys. It gets even worse. Or activates Zhonya's Hourglass. So, if you're playing against a Darius, Darius is about to ult you. You make the amazing outplay, which is using your stasis exactly right after he ults you, the Darius. So you outplay him like crazy. Your stasis lasts for 2.5 seconds. So after you get out of your stasis, after 2.5 seconds, he will just ult you again. And you wasted your stasis. He's gonna have his ult again. This is where I get a problem. The next part, Guardian Angel, you know what? I like that one, right? He ults an enemy that has Guardian Angel. It is extremely annoying when the ultimate would go on a cooldown. I love that it goes on a 5-second cooldown now. That makes sense. That, you know what? That I love that one. That when you ult an enemy that has Guardian Angel, you can basically double ult that enemy. But these two, come on, is what I have to say. Come on is what I have to say. How low skill do we want to make this game? I don't want to stick too long with Darius because it gets even worse than this. You'll see. This is an amazing change, but somehow they found a way to completely, in my eyes, screw it up. Because this is great when the target, this is great. I love this. I like this one. When a target dies before you hit it, sure, refund it. Really nice, great, because this is an amazing quality of life change. But here we're literally taking away skill from the game. You're taking away skill. Stasising Darius ult is just not, it's not gonna be good anymore. Extremely high elo players is, it is what it is. Let's now move on though. I want to move on because otherwise it will get too long. Fiddlesticks. Sorry guys, it's still too scary. These adjustments will make sure we stop shaking in our boots when we see the enemy pick Fiddlesticks in champ select. I want to say Fiddlesticks is still extremely broken. I made a video with him. He's still so broken. So let's see what they changed about him. What an this is a pretty big nerf. This is a pretty big nerf. Late game from 1.6 to 1.3. Like this is big. I want to say this is very big because the whole reason Fiddlesticks would be able to ult and do extreme amounts of damage is because of that 1.6 second fair duration in that late game. Now it's going to go down to 1.3, which means 0.3 seconds of damage, of less damage. One of the ticks of the ultimate, every 0.25 seconds you're going to do a tick of damage. So you're already dodging one tick of the ultimate. Let alone like you can escape more easily now because the fair duration is not as long. So essentially, they're basically reducing his all-in power. They're also just straight up reducing the fair duration, right? But I want to say, like, this is a pretty big nerf. This hits him like in a pretty bad place. Nerfs his all-in, nerfs his overall CC. it nerfs him overall. Like, this is an overall nerf. Also, Bountiful Harvest, which I believe is the second ability, is getting quite a hefty nerf to damage to jungle. You cannot clear jungle as fast anymore with Fiddlesticks. Although I do agree with this change. He can clear the jungle too fast. I think Fiddlesticks is still going to be fine. I think these are good changes to Fiddlesticks. Now we're going to get this guy. If you thought Darius was bad enough, let's read our boy from Demacia. To keep Demacia in balance, we had to give Garen the same quality of life as Darius. Garen changes will be available 4th of January. So when casting Demacian Justice, which is Garen's ultimate, and the target dies before you casted it, he moves out of range, which doesn't really make sense because your ult is still going to hit enemies even if they flash, so this one doesn't matter. Same with Darius, by the way. When an enemy becomes untargetable, so again, when an enemy becomes untargetable and completely outplays you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. When an enemy uses stasis enchant on your ult, it doesn't matter. And the Guardian Angel one, dude, think about this one, by the way. If you have like a lot of attack damage on a Garen, you can double ult, and like you ult an enemy, he goes on Guardian Angel. You can actually triple ult an enemy. Imagine you ult an enemy, he stasises. You ult an enemy and he dies from Guardian Angel. And then you ult him again after the Guardian Angel. You can ult them 3 times. In that particular scenario, like, imagine. Enemy Lee Sin. He has stasis. He has Guardian Angel. He's never gonna die. Never. He's not gonna die. And then suddenly, he's sitting at like 30% HP. You're about to ult him. He's like, no, stasis, easy. And then 2 seconds later, you ult him again. Okay, he dies, but he has Guardian Angel. It's fine. He's coming back. He comes back with 30% HP. You're literally just... Well, it is going to be on a 2.5 second cooldown. But after that, you're going to ult him again. And he's going to die. You've effectively ulted Lee Sin 3 times. And this will happen. This will happen. This is crazy. This is like... Again, you know what I mean? I like the quality of life change if the enemy dies before you ult. Sure, it's fine, it's great. But the untargetable part, the Zhonya's part, no. And with Garen, also the Guardian Angel part should not exist in my opinion. Oh well, let's move on. I just want to hear your thoughts on these 2 quality of life changes. I want to hear your thoughts. Jayce, I've always hated Jayce. What a stupid champion. Like, honestly, he has so many different abilities and stuff, but I think he's one of the most stupid champions in the game. I don't know. I just don't like Jayce. Jayce hasn't been as dominant in lane as we hoped. They buffed Jayce, by the way, recently, just so you know. These changes will make it easier for him to snowball, and the jungle adjustment will make sure he doesn't clear camps too quickly. His base stats, this is huge. 4 extra attack damage at level 1. 54 is already quite a lot. 58 is like really a lot. Like, this is a lot. He's also going to be getting 7 more health per level, which means at level 15 he's going to have 105 more health. To the Skies Shock Blast. I believe this is his ultimate when you swap, I think. So when you swap to is that his ultimate? Yeah, so when you swap to the cannon, your next attack will have more damage and it scales with more attack damage, okay? And, oh, it does less damage to jungle monsters, okay? And when you change to the hammer, they're not buffing the flat damage, they're just buffing the scaling from 130 to 140%, but yet again does less damage to jungle monsters. This will, like, you're gonna feel this change on Jayce. This makes him stronger. Still think it's just a complete stupid champion and useless, but he's definitely gonna be significantly stronger, especially this early game buff right here. And then he also skills better to the late game. Like, all of this is also late game, just so you know. So they buffed him across the board. Hopefully, I mean, surely Kayn is getting nerfed, right? Like, this champion is beyond broken. Oh, he was getting a rework too. Yeah. So Kayn's ultimate is also receiving a little TLC. I don't know what TLC. What does TLC mean? I don't know what they mean with TLC. We're really digging the quality of life changes. Can you tell? Kayn changes will be available 4th of January. So what is the quality of life change? Umbral Trespass, which is the ultimate. When Kayn is in his darkened form, which is the red Kayn, okay? Investing a target with Umbral Trespass when you use your ult on a target, and the target dies before you get out, the ult will still heal you up. So the way it used to work, when you play red Kayn, you know, you're really reliant on the ultimate healing, because you go in, when you're low HP, you go out, you're full HP, right? But when you used to go in and the enemy died, right, like they died before you go out, it would not heal you, and you would just be in such an awkward spot. You know, you're playing red Kayn and you just completely miss the entirety of the heal from the ultimate. But because of this change, if the enemy dies before you get out, you're still gonna heal up. Really, really good change. I love this change. I really, really love this change. Like, this is just amazing. Like, good quality of life, makes sense, just overall good. Kha'zix is very obviously getting nerfed. This is the most broken jungler in the game right now. And with these adjustments, Kha'zix is gonna be even more ruthless. Yeah, he's getting buffed, guys. They're buffing Kha'zix. What? Unseen Threat. This is his passive, okay? This is like the bonus damage his passive does. After you're unseen, your next basic attack will do bonus damage, like the old Duskblade of Traktar. It used to do 6 flat damage, plus 8 per level, plus 40% attack damage. Now it does 10 flat damage, so at level 1, you already have 4 more damage, okay? It does the same per level, but it scales more. 10% more scaling in the late game. Mind you, this is a huge buff from 40 to 50%. That's a 25% buff. It looks like a 10% buff, but compared to the old one, it scales 25% harder than before now. You know, if you don't take the 8 per level into consideration, if you just take it scales with attack damage more. Considering you go for almost full lethality on Kha'zix, which is true damage, which means you're gonna get like 200, 250 attack damage in it, maybe even 300. 10% of that, that's like 20, 30 extra damage. Plus the 4 flat damage in the, you know, even in the late game, you're getting like 25 extra damage from this. Which is, you know, something. That is something. This is gonna be somewhat significant in a way. Another champion that's completely broken right now, Lucian. Lucian is another one who's been off the mark lately. Really. We're hoping these changes will make for a stronger late game, but still ensure he doesn't overwhelm his opponent early on. Growth attack damage. So he's gonna get 1 extra attack damage per level. I'm gonna assume this means. Whatever it means, he's getting more attack damage late game. His first ability is getting a flat damage nerf. You see that? 110 to 100 and then 150 to 145, 190 to 190. It's reduced here. And then here he gets a little bit more late game. So they're just buffing him late game again. And he has more attack damage scaling. You're gonna feel this nerf a little bit, like the 10 damage less, you're gonna feel that perhaps a bit at level 1, level 2, level 3. They did nerf him early game, but it's nothing significant. It's still gonna hurt a lot, and late game he's gonna do much more damage right now, especially that first ability. 5% extra scaling, which is great, and he gets more attack damage. Malphite. It's funny, they haven't touched Malphite for a really long time. What did they do? AP Malphite is a hit with you guys. Yeah, AP Malphite is extremely powerful right now. It's really, really good. What about Tank Malphite? We've tweaked his scaling a bit, so both get the love they deserve. Wait, they're buffing AP Malphite? Is that what they're saying? His passive shield, instead of it being 9% max health, now is 11%. Wow. Oof. Tank Malphite. This is huge for Tank Malphite. Wow, this is huge actually. Oh my god, he's gonna be so damn tanky. Oh, what is happening? Second ability. No way. It also gives you more armor now, the second ability. Wow, 5% more armor per level. That is ridiculous. Damage on the first attack is also going up. The flat damage is the same, the AP scaling is the same, but it does more damage based on your armor, which you're already getting more of because of upgrading this ability. This is crazy. And the damage of the following attacks, of course, is going to do half of this damage. Wow, that is pretty funny. That is pretty fun. This is actually pretty crazy. These are major buffs to Tank Malphite, guys. Misfortune. Misfortune has been rather unlucky in the Dragonlane. Yeah, Misfortune sucks. Misfortune is so weak. Hopefully these changes will let her spin her wheel of fortune. Her base attack damage goes from 54 to 58, which is again gonna be quite big early game. Her base mana, I love this one, from 390 to 420. This is great. Extra mana early game. Oh, she gets 9 extra mana per level. That is actually big. That is actually pretty big. It's gonna be like 135 extra mana at level 15, which is big. Like, I want to say this is quite big. 135. It's like half of the mana flow band. You know what I mean? You can now go for something else and just leave out the mana flow band because of this change, which, you know, is basically you're getting an extra rune for free. Like, you're getting bone plating for free because of this. Because now you're not really gonna need mana flow anymore if you play it a bit conservative. I love these changes. Riot seems to be very hit or miss with the changes, because these are really good changes. Very, very nice quality of life. Just very nice overall buff for Misfortune. It's not going to make her obnoxious. It's just going to make her much more fun, much more... Just better, but not in an annoying way. It's just great change. What happens to Nilah? I think Nilah may get like a late game nerf or something, because I know she's supposed to be a late game champion, but the way how strong she is just not even, it's not balanced. Nilah has been washing out her opponents. Wait. Nilah has been washing out her opponents way faster than they can paddle. These changes will put a little dam on her. So they're nerfing her? Oh, they're nerfing Jungle Nilah. Formless Blade. Wait, what is that? Is that her passive or is that her first ability? Whatever it is, she's going to be clearing jungle slower. So Jungle Nilah is going to be scaling much slower. Talking about scaling, what's happening to Orianna? The ball is angry. Yeah, the balls are angry. We know that. And doing a little bit too much damage. Yeah, the balls can indeed do a little bit too much damage. I completely get this. These changes will make her easier to roll with. Hell yeah. So she's got... Oh, yeah, nerf. Ooh, 11 HP per level. That's 165 less HP at max level, by the way, guys. Just so you know. 165. That's a lot. That's a lot to shave off from her HP. Just so, like, this is significant. These are significant nerfs right here. But that's not it. I guess they're nerfing more. So this is her passive. Bonus magic damage on attacks used to be 10 flat damage plus 3 per level plus 15% ability power. Now it's 5 plus 3 plus 15. Wow! Huge nerf. Oh my god. So her early basic attacks are also much weaker. So late game she's squishier, and early game she cannot bully with her basic attacks as much. Okay, this is significant nerfs to Orianna. And I get it. I've always been preaching for Orianna, because Orianna is just such a strong champion, but no one seems to know. But it seems like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, this makes a lot of sense. You know, like, there were a few people that were completely abusing Orianna. This makes sense. But we're still not done yet. What is happening with her ultimate? Oh, they're buffing the ult. So she's more all in. So first strike Orianna, which is the video I made recently, the first strike build is going to be way better now. Look at that. They're just buffing it by 50 damage across the board and 5% ability power. Okay. So she's actually going to have more damage late game because of this. Because you're not going to feel this nerf too much late game. But this one you're 100% going to feel. The moment you reach level 5, you know, instead of 150, 200. That's a huge buff. Like, this is huge. Pyke. What is happening to Pyke? Is he going to get nerfed? We're adjusting Pyke to let him rip through his enemies even easier. Are you kidding me, man? Come on. Pyke is fine. Especially in a group setting. So what's happening to Pyke? Phantom Undertow, which is his third ability, I believe. It's gonna do a little bit more damage late game, I guess. This is really not gonna be too significant. Death from below. Oh, that's his ultimate. Oh god, that's the big ability. What are they doing? Pyke gains gold if his allies assist in takedowns. He's gonna get more gold. Instead of 140, he's gonna get 160%. Oh dear lord. And then of course Pyke also gains gold if enemies are slain by his allies in the X-shaped area. Oh my god. This is insane. So he's getting more gold now. Like, when you have a Pyke in your team, the Pyke and the team are gonna get more fed now, especially the Pyke. Damn, dude. Wow, this is actually pretty crazy. It's especially good for support Pyke, because, you know, support Pyke relies on his ult to get a lot of gold, and this will give him even more. Wow. Samira, I heard that she's getting buffed yet again, so let's see. Samira does well early on, but falls off mid and late game. We're giving her a little boost to make sure her impact keeps up with her confidence. She's gonna get 0.6 extra armor per level, which is going to be 9 armor at level 15. Quick maths as well again. And from 0.8 to 1, that's going to be, how much is that? It's not a lot. 0.2. That's like 3 extra magic resist at max level, isn't it? That's not a lot. But essentially, what they're trying to say, she gets a little bit tankier. And 9 armor matters. Like, just to let you know, Edge of Night gives you 8 armor penetration. Samira is, like, the new Samira, as opposed to the old Samira, is gonna cancel out the Edge of Night and have 1 extra spare armor for free. Just trying to make you guys understand, like, these types of buffs, they matter a lot. Like, if you have an enemy Lee Sin, he has an Edge of Night or Serpent Fang or anything, you're gonna be canceling out a lot of the damage passively just because of this, just by leveling up, just so you know. Flare, I think that's the first ability. Oh my god, no way. Did they wait? Is that his first? Is that a first? That is the first ability. From 15 to 20. Level 1 Samira is insanely powerful because of this now. 5 extra damage. Level 1, it matters. And then in the late game as well, it has more damage, still 5. But then again, it also scales better. 5% more scaling as well. Wow. Good god, man. They keep buffing Samira. They keep buffing her. You know what's funny, by the way? I see Sona down here. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen to Sona. I know. So, for me, Sona is significantly weaker than before now. But I can assure you that for the average player, Sona is very, very good right now. They're going to nerf Sona. They're going to nerf her 100%. Like, you know, all of the 99.9% of the players that, you know, don't know the secrets of Sona that I do, they're going to say, like, Sona is completely broken right now. And I agree. I agree. I could comfortably have like a 60% win rate on Sona. Obviously, that's not nearly as broken as 70% that I used to have. But I think Sona right now in the average hands is broken. So she's getting nerfed. 1,000,000%. Sona is a master of recasting her chores like rapid fire, giving enemies a heart. Exactly. It's so obvious. Oh wow, it's so obvious. I knew it. We fine-tuned her as well as her healing and shielding scaling to make sure she's not deafening her opponents. So the cooldown reduction on skills, this skills per level, there we go. Huge nerf. There we go. Like, I knew it. I knew it. This is so obvious. You know, first they destroy Sona by reworking her. And then even the reworked Sona, now they're just gonna throw her in the bin. Alright, so in the late game, you're gonna have, at level 15, you're gonna have 10% less cooldown reduction on your abilities. Which, you know, it's actually pretty funny. It doesn't really matter that much. You know why? Because they also added a thing to Sona. Every time you cast any ability, all of your other abilities are going to go on a 0.5 second cooldown. So even if you have everything available, you cannot spam it like before. So this doesn't matter as much. I said huge nerf, but it really doesn't matter as much. Because at the point you've reached that late into the game, you're already going to have kind of enough cooldown reduction just to justify Sona's abilities, since it goes on a 0.54 second cooldown anyways. But it's still a nerf. Second ability. They're actually buffing the healing, which makes sense because the healing is just so garbage. They're just buffing the flat healing by 5. Okay, 5, 5, 10. I mean, early game, I guess you're gonna feel it, but whatever. No AP scaling buff. And they are buffing the early shield, but they're nerfing the late shield and they're nerfing the scaling of the shield. This is the team-wide shield she gives, so the shield is gonna be weaker now. Her ultimate, so after you ult, the way it worked, it's very, very vague. After you ult, you would buff all of your other abilities by 30% for like 20 seconds, which was insane. Like your heal was extra, your shields were extra, your damage was extra, your speed was extra. Now instead of 30%, it's going to be 20%. So after you ult, you're going to get less of a buff. Now, of course, they're also going to have to nerf the damage the ult does. So you're also going to do less damage and you're going to slow less. 10% less slowing. Again, Sona will be okay. However, this will bring her average, you know, the average Joe playing Sona is not going to have 60% win rate anymore. He's going to have 55 now. After a couple patches, we're probably going to be seeing some extra Sona nerfs. But this is now we're really close to Sona being actually balanced. Sona has never been balanced. Sona has always been broken. Then they reworked her. it brought her from broken to still broken, but not as broken as before. Now they're bringing her to just a little bit stronger than balanced. So like, you know, you're going to have like a 53, 54, 55% win rate. If you're very, very good, perhaps a 56, 57, but you're not going to be getting that 60% win rate anymore on Sona. That ain't happening. Like, I'm telling you, that ain't happening. It's funny, I literally know Sona in and out. I know this champion. And I know that my prediction is going to be 100% accurate right now. Thresh. They're also reworking Thresh. Look at this one, guys. This one is crazy too. Darius gets a quality of life change. Kayn gets a quality of life change. Garen gets a quality of life change. Everyone gets a quality of life change. Everybody being Thresh. Let's see those hooks fly. Thresh changes will be available 4th of January. So take a look at what happens here. Death Sentence. That's his first ability. During the wind up of Death Sentence, you know when he does the right, like he throws his hook backwards and does this. Thresh won't immediately turn towards the casting direction of Death Sentence. Let me tell you what this means. Let's say you're aiming over there, and right now your Thresh is looking here, but you're aiming your hook there. What Thresh does is he does this. He immediately turns towards the way he's about to hook. So like a good player could, during that split second, see this movement and, you know, try to dodge the hook. Now, he's gonna look like this. He's gonna do instantly hook like that. This is gonna make Thresh significantly easier to play, guys. They're taking away skill one by one by one. They're, you know, like they have like a gun on their head, and every champion, it starts off with Lux. Then they go to Soraka. Then they go to Sona. Oh, Camille as well. Alistar and Jayce, a small one. You know, they kind of cut their ears off, like one of the ears, but they didn't get shot in their legs. And then we get the one onto the Darius. And then we get Garen. I shot Garen into Guardian Angel, guys. I can shoot again. You get that reference? And then as well, you know, there's some smoke coming out of it, but hey guys, I still have a bullet. Where's Thresh? I'm trying to look at Thresh. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not, I don't have to aim at Thresh. I just have to, and in one go it's gonna shoot. It doesn't make sense. But hey, your average Andy, your average Joe, I guess the IQ is just decreasing of people every single day. So let's just make it easy. Let's make everything easy. You know what I mean? I don't like this change. Hopefully you understand it. I really, really hope, like honestly, I never played Tryndamere. I hate Tryndamere, but I genuinely hope he's getting a massive buff. Genuinely. And you know why? Because I just feel bad for Tryndamere players. He's so useless. So let's take a look. Tryndamere has been performing poorly. Yeah. Obviously, especially at higher ranks. These adjustments will make it easier for him to stay within striking distance of his enemies. Mocking Shout, that's his second ability, which is it's a useless ability. But now, actually, 10% extra slows. Okay, perhaps respectable, let's just say. Okay. Spinning Slash, that's his third ability. So this is more of a fundamental ability. So buffing this is really gonna buff him. They're buffing the cooldown. This is big, because remember, when you attack an enemy, it reduces the cooldown of the third ability already. So cooldown reduction on an ability like this means more than a normal ability. So you're gonna be able to get it even more often. So 1 second reduction, which is pretty big. And damage, let's see. Okay, just a 5% scaling. It does 5% extra attack damage, so it does a little bit more damage. This is not enough to Tryndamere, I think. I think this is not enough. Perhaps this one, you know what? Maybe we're underestimating this one, because like having a 25% slow, because you're never upgrading this ability, you're always keeping it at level 1. So instead of 15, you're having a 25% slow. It's going to be somewhat significant, actually. When an enemy is running away, you're going to slow down. It slows enemies for 3 seconds, by the way. A 15% slow didn't really matter that much, but 25, it could allow you to catch up the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, it could allow you to catch up to them, and then the cooldown reduction from the third ability can let you use it more often. Little bit more damage. He's still going to be useless. He's basically going to go from the D tier to the C tier. So, yeah. Urgot, another champion that's somewhat useless, except for like the Urgot 1 tricks, but let's see. Urgot has to be within a leg's reach to deal damage. exposing him to counterattacks. We're increasing his survivability to make sure he can wreak havoc for longer. Disdain, which is... what is that? That's his second ability. No, his third ability, the dash and the shield. That's what it is. They're reducing the cooldown. Okay, 1 second less cooldown. Mind you, this is a shield and a dash. This is an extremely strong ability. The shield will go up by a flat 10, like 10 extra shielding, and that's it. Okay, this doesn't really buff that much. No more extra scaling, not with health or attack damage or anything like that. His ultimate, on the other hand, 10-second cooldown reduction. Wow, I like that one. You know why I like it? Because in the late game, you can, let's say you're 1v1ing the enemy Baron laner late game. You've gotten him below 25% health, you ulted him, you killed him. When he is going to be back, you know, after like a 30-second death timer, you're going to have your ultimate again, right? Like you're going to have it again. And I love that. I love that you're going to have your ultimate again, even in the early mid stages of the game, when the timers are not that long. I mean, in the late game, you were always going to have your ultimate back again. But now, even in the early game, you're going to have your ultimate again. It's going to be a close call, rather than it being on like a super long cooldown. So I love this ultimate change. This really hits Urgot in the right spot, I would say. Vladimir, just destroy this champion. I don't want to see him interact. Just nerf his first ability, nerf his ultimate, increase the cooldown of his second ability, reduce his HP. Just get him out of here. So let's see what they did to him, please. Not many things age finer than Vladimir on the Rift. Correct. In the late game, this champion is broken. A bit too fine, maybe. We're watering him down a bit to make him a bit more palatable. Transfusion, which is his first ability? Is that his first ability? Yeah. This is first ability. The most obnoxious ability ever. So, okay, they're reducing the damage by 10. This is... They're not touching the healing, which I actually like, because that's how Vladimir works. He heals for 24 HP at level 1. Why do I know these exact numbers, by the way? Like, come on, okay. But he heals up. It's not that much early game. It's really not that much, but the damage would be a little bit annoying. But reducing it by 10, this is good. This is good, because like, it's not going to be as obnoxious anymore. In the late game, you're not going to feel it as much. You are going to feel it, but not as much. But then this one is also really, really good. When you get the extra, it's got Crimson Dash. Basically, when the bar is red, you know how it does insane damage, right? Now it's going to do a little bit less insane, from 85% bonus damage to 75% bonus damage. And mind you, right, like you're reducing 10 flat damage, so you're also reducing that in the extra one. But you're still healing just as much, which I like. Again, this is I think this is good. It's not, they're not killing Vladimir. This is just like a, in Dutch we would say a corrigerende tik, which is like when you're a parent, you know, like you just, you know, when your kid does something wrong, you don't slap them on their face, you just give them a corrigerende tik. Every single Dutch person is gonna understand that one. You know what I mean? Just a tick. Just I don't know how to say it in English. Like a correcting tick, perhaps. You know, like it's just like, you know, like that, where it's like, hey Vladimir, just, you know, relax. They're not stomping him in the ground. They're not stepping on him like they perhaps should, but the corrigating tick, like he's gonna be fine. Sanguine Pool, that's his second ability. Movement speed reduced. Again, we're getting this one, you know? For now, they're just giving him this, and they're warning him. They're like, do not become broken again, okay? This is just a little bit. Otherwise, you're getting that one. You're getting the Arabic treatment. The treatment, you know, the pew, pew, pew. Or perhaps the yeah, I don't want to get demonetized, but if you know, you know. See, that one, the Dutch people knew. This one, the Arabic people are going to know. The Eastern Europeans are going to know as well. The Greek are going to know. You guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Because we have the corrigating tick. That's level 1. And our moms go to level 10. You know what I mean? And if you're lucky, you've not seen anything above level 7. If you're lucky. If you've seen these levels, yeah. Yeah. Moving on. Ziggs. Boom goes the dynamite. I love that word. Boom. So he's getting reworked. Let's take a read. We hope these changes will let him blow up turrets and enemies. Ziggs rework will be available January 4th. Everything is January 4th, all the reworks. So, short fuse. This is his passive. The way it works is it enhances Ziggs' next attack to do bonus damage, and every time you use an ability, it reduces the cooldown by 40%. And this enhanced attack would do a lot of damage to turrets, right? Like, that's the red bar under his health. So they're removing that. Okay. Bouncing Bomb. This is his first ability. Addition. Subsequent landing areas from the bounces will be displayed. So what this means is, when you're aiming the first ability, you know how right now it shows you like one circle? Now it's going to show you like the initial place of impact. But it's also going to show you like the next 3 places of impact, or next 2, I don't know. So it's going to show you exactly where it's going to go. I love this change. I absolutely love this. It's going to make it much more accurate for you to properly hit your first ability. Like, for example, you can actually bounce the bomb over a minion, but it can be a little bit hard to like properly see how it's gonna work, like while the minion is moving, etc, etc. Now you can actually see exactly where the first bounce is gonna go, where the second bounce is gonna go, and where the third bounce is gonna go, right? Like you can see exactly, so you can time it perfectly and make really cool plays with it. I love this change. They're also slightly increasing the bullet speed of Bouncing Bomb and expand the range of enemies searched for Smartcast. I don't know what this means, but this means that it's going faster. So his first ability is going to go faster. Oh, but it's going to do less damage. Oh my god, what is this? Wait, what? From 85 to 65? In the late game, it's still similar, but that's a massive hit on his early game damage, actually. What the hell? Alright. Second ability. What are they doing to this? There's all of the new things. The icon indicator to demolish turrets will be visible on the whole map, as well as in the Fog of War. So, wherever, whenever we're meant to be together, you can see the indicator if you can one-shot the turret. On top of that, you can now also see the execution line on the turret. So let's say the HP of the turret, you know, the HP is over here, but your execution line is over here. It's not going to be red, you know, which is the indicator. It's not going to be red like the indicator, but it's going to show you that you're close, which means you can attack the turret and get it low enough and use your second ability. However, now that I'm thinking about it, they removed the passive. Oh wait, I missed an entire part of his passive. What the hell? He has a new passive. All of Ziggs' abilities can do 15% damage to turrets? What? So you can... What? You can just... From outside the turret range, you can attack a turret. No. Wait. 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 No. I'm thinking about something right now. We all know inting Sion, right? We all know like inting your KDA. You know what I'm thinking about right now? I'm thinking about going full AP Ziggs and then adding a Hull Breaker to your build. And then just standing outside of turret ranges and chunking them down and executing them with the second ability and playing inting Ziggs. Oh no. Wait, what? Because think about it. Your ult, you're in the late game, your ult does like 50... I've seen the ult do like 2000 damage, right? Yeah. Yeah. So 15% of 2000... You're gonna do 300 damage to a turret with your ult. Add the Hull Breaker to it. You're gonna be doing like 400 damage to a turret with your ult. Your first ability is also gonna do... Your first ability is like a 3-second cooldown in the late game. Wait, so how much damage does the first ability do? 260, and it skills with AP too. So it's gonna do like 700-800 damage, 15% of that. It's gonna be like, every time you use your first ability, it's gonna be like 150 damage. So within 20 seconds, you can take an entire turret probably in the late game. Maybe even 15 seconds. you can take a whole ass turret while being outside of the range. Wow. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but there is more to the passive. The enhanced bouncing bomb. Enhanced bouncing bomb? This ability is called the bouncing bomb. The enhanced bouncing bomb. What is an enhanced bouncing bomb? So they removed the passive. This is bouncing bomb. I don't know what this means. Does it mean like, I don't know what it means, but it has something to do with the first ability. Your first ability is going to do more damage, the enhanced one, whatever the hell that means. And this one does 20% to turrets. So your first ability is going to do more damage to the turrets. You can just use it from outside the turret range and attack that turret. And it's more than 15%. It's 20%. Oh, okay. Let's keep reading. So we were here. This is where we were. The charge. So the second ability can now be detonated while in the air. So if you want to throw it from point A to point B, but Lee Sin dashed from point B to point C, you can now explode it in the air to then dislocate Lee Sin in point C, rather than your second ability moving all the way to point B again and just, you know, exploding you in a useless way. I love this change as well. This is great. This adds a lot of skill to Ziggs and quality of life. Really, really good. So we all know about the ultimate change, right? Like we could clearly see they took away the middle part and the outside part just became one big part. You're going to do the big damage everywhere. I'm assuming they're reducing the damage, right? So Mega Inferno Bomb will do 300 to 600 plus 105 ability power to enemies inside, and then outside 67%. Now it's going to do less damage, actually quite significantly less, but it's everywhere. It's going to do the damage everywhere. So this is a better ult. Smart cast expense. I don't know what smart cast is. Maybe it's... Don't tell me they're calling auto aim smart cast, please. Don't tell me smart cast is auto aim. There's no way they're rephrasing smart cast with... They're rephrasing auto aim smart cast, right? I must be missing something right here. Surely I'm missing something. But it expands the range of searching targets to a full range of a bit. Okay, whatever it is, I think it's auto aim, but yeah, smart cast. Oh, there's more. There's gameplay changes. The Maw of Malmortius, very strong item by the way. Currently, Maw of Malmortius can only be triggered by attacks, meaning basic attacks, right? Which makes this item incapable of countering mages. We've tweaked it to let more champions with physical damage choose this item when they need to counter mage. So they're tweaking it. Doesn't mean buff or nerf. Magic Shield will be triggered with 60% damage from basic attacks. That's how it used to work. It's still going to be 20% of basic attacks. Wait, it says 20% basic attacks or 15% physical damage dealt by abilities. Why does it say or? So it's either the former or the latter. It's one of the two. It says or. It's not an and. If it said and, gonna be stacking magic shields, but it says or. I think it's gonna take the one that gives you the best value, but then again, oh, so if you're playing Darius, your basic attacks are gonna give you 20%, but your passive, which is the bleed, and for example your first ability, is going to be giving you 15% of the damage is going to be converted into a shield. I think that's how it works. But how does it work with Darius' second ability, which is an ability and it applies on-hit effects? I think then it's going to take the 20%, the extra damage. That's what's going to happen, yeah. So they're basically just adding the 15%. Like if you use an ability that does physical damage, you're going to be getting a shield. And if that ability also applies on-hit effects, like Fiora's first ability, for example, Ezreal's first ability, Darius' second ability, you're going to be getting the 20% anyways. So this is just an extra. You're just getting more shield, basically. That's the short explanation. That's the smart explanation. I should say it like that. I should be phrasing things like that too. Why would I say that's the short explanation? That's the smart explanation. That's the smart summary. That's the smart summary. Oh, there we go. You see, I'm learning as well. Armor on Twin Guard. Armor on Twin Guard isn't providing enough stats for players to justify the purchase. You know what? With the buff of Kraken Slayer, perhaps I would say yes, because Kraken Slayer obviously completely negates this item. We're increasing the base stats to make it more attractive for tanks. So it's 100 gold cheaper and 5 more armor. Okay, pretty damn good. Skins, yeah. They buffed Tryndamere, he gets a skin. They buffed Ziggs, he gets a skin. They buffed Pyke, he gets a skin. What the hell is a Warwick? Oh, that's Warwick. Warwick. Skin update. Jade Dragon Wukong will be getting a cosmetic upgrade and leaving the store. Oh, nice. I actually have the... do I have the skin? I don't know. The Wild Rift design team is a collective hypermind, blah, 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 blah. But yes. Thank you guys so much for 50 minutes. Oof. People are probably not watching anyways. I'm just gonna say bye-bye, because there's no way people are watching 50 minutes of this video of me. Yeah. Bye-bye.